Hey, thanks everybody for joining us today on Live Music Nation podcast. I'm your host, Jake Gill. Today we're with Deanne Waters from the River Reach Foundation. They host Riverfest every year. Deanne, thanks for joining us.
Thank you. Welcome. I'm happy to be here.
So, Deanne, first of all, you have an accent. Where is that from?
I'm a native New Mexican, but
Really?
I think my accent comes from having lived overseas for many years.
Yeah, you think? You told me that. I was like, okay, wait a minute. Is she Scottish? Is this Irish? Is this, Czech? What is this? That's cool. That's very good. What brought you overseas?
My husband was in engineering, and we worked overseas for several years.
Fantastic. Did you like it?
Loved it.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's beautiful for sure. Okay, Deanne, talk a little bit about you first. Let's get to know you a little bit. Where'd you grow up? Talk about your childhood and your career up until the point now with the foundation.
All right. Like I said, I'm a native New Mexican. I was born in Gallup, New Mexico, but lived my first couple of years out on the Navajo reservation. My father was an Indian trader, and so we lived out there until I had to start school. And then we moved into Gallup, and I spent all my formative years in Gallup during school year, and the summers out on the reservation.
Fantastic. You've had quite the life.
Thank you.
Absolutely. All right, so tell us about the River Reach Foundation itself. Let's start there.
Okay, the River Reach Foundation came into being in 1986.
Okay.
And it started off with a group of people that wanted to preserve and protect our riverine corridor that we have here in Farmington, New Mexico. We have three rivers that run through our town, which is quite unique for New Mexico and for many other places. Anyway, they started out just trying to clean up the river, clean out the empty chunks of concrete, old cars, icebox, refrigerators, and all of that. And they established a trail system, started working towards establishing a trail system, which we do have now quite extensive along the river.
Oh, very cool. Very cool. So
Yep.
tell us what Riverfest is, and when you walk on site during Riverfest, what are you going to see? What are you going to smell? What are you going to hear? What are you going to feel?
Okay, we held our first Riverfest in 1987.
Okay.
And it was more a very small event, but we've had it every year since then, except for the 2 years during the pandemic. We have over 3 acres of trail that takes place where we have vendors and musicians along the river at Riverfest, which is held every Memorial Day weekend. We have bands on 2 areas on the river. People walk between the 2 of them. They listen to good local music and regional music. They have arts and craft vendors. They have food vendors and merchandise. It's just a very fun, relaxing weekend. And they stroll alongside the river. We also have a little veterans park where we have some native dancing that takes place, and a gourd dance, which is a Native American celebration honoring the veterans. And that takes place on that Sunday before Memorial Day. And we attract about 25 to 30,000 people.
Wow, it sounds beautiful. I'm just like, this is cool. How did you become involved with this?
Well, actually, I became involved. We have also a little plastic duck race. And
Okay.
I'm also a member of the Kiwanis International.
Yes.
And River Reach Foundation president came to me and asked if we would consider participating in the duck race. And we said yes. And so Kiwanis and River Reach Foundation jointly run the duck race. And that's how I got involved in the foundation.
Oh man, nothing better than a good duck race. It's just fair.
It's fun.
Just fair.
It's all just plastic ducks going down.
It is, but it's fair. Your duck can't be any better than anybody else's duck, and it's
Right.
just pure chance. I love it.
It is 100% chance.
That's so awesome. That's so awesome. Deanne, when it talks about, so you in New Mexico, you guys were a little tighter constricted when it came to COVID. You mentioned you were shut down for 2 years. What is it for you in those live event moments when you've got people there for Riverfest? What is the moment where you just take that big, deep breath, you let it all out, and you know that it's a success? Like, what is that moment for you? When do you realize that?
I think probably on the Friday night when we have our opening musician, our opening band. it has finally come together.
Yeah.
Up until that moment, it's pure chaos trying to get up all the tents and get everything in line and make sure we have all our security taken care of, and everybody, all our sponsors and donors recognized on banners and stuff. So as soon as the music starts, it's a sigh of relief that it's going to be a success. And then the work begins to keep it all congealed.
Then the work begins. Then the work begins. Very good. Okay, so Deanne, I am a live music guy. I do entertainment full time. I need to know 2 questions from you. The first question is this: what's the best concert you've seen your entire life? You've traveled all over the world. What's the best concert you've ever seen?
Oh gosh, there's been so many. I don't know that I can actually answer that.
You have to. You have to give me one.
Probably one of the Beatles. I'm dating myself.
How many times do you see the Beatles?
I think just 3, I think.
Oh, 3 more than most of us have. Yeah, for sure. All right. So last question would be, dead or alive, you can bring anybody to Riverfest. Money's not an issue. Who would you like to bring to your community, dead or alive?
Dead or alive? Oh my, there's so many people that have such great talent that it would be hard to give anyone more recognition than another one, because we have such wonderful musicians, wonderful bands,
the Beatles,
and such a variety of music and we have such a variety of people. You know, we have a large Native American section, so they're really into Western music a lot.
Yep.
Also their own Native musicians. And there's some fabulous Native American musicians out there. So I'd like to see a little bit more of them.
There you go. There you go. Perfect. Deanne, how do people find out more about Riverfest if they want to plan their summer trip and make a stop in?
Okay, we have 2 different ways. We have 2 web pages. One is www.riverreachfoundation.com.
Okay.
And the other is www.riverfestnewmexico.com. They can also go to the Farmington Chamber of Commerce and get all kinds of information there on hotels, events, everything that's going on. And they could also check with the City of Farmington. City of Farmington is a great partner with us, as are the Chamber of Commerce and the Convention and Visitors Bureaus. We all work. We're a small community, so we work very closely together.
Fantastic.
So any of those.
No, that's great. That's great. Thanks so much for being on with us today, Deanne. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you. It was a pleasure.
Well, baby, I'm on it.